Did you know that clients are 3 times more likely to leave a negative review when the check-in process is confusing? So as a host, we know how important it is to get that 5-star review. Your check-in process is the first time your client is going to come in contact with your property and you. So you got to make sure it's done properly. So this video is video 1 of a 3-video series that I'm doing regarding the importance of the check-in process. So if you're new to hosting and you need help with this process, reach out. I can help you out. Or if you've been hosting for a while, comment below how you do your check-in instructions that can help all of us improve. So let's check out this video. Pura vida. Hi, I'm Esteban. I'm a 6-year Superhost based out of Costa Rica. I'm actually here at one of my properties. As you can see, it's a windy day in Costa Rica. So this is going to be video 1 of a 3-video series that I'm doing regarding the check-in process. And in this first video, I'm going to go in detail about the check-in instructions in your listing. And in video 2, I'm going to do a live walkthrough of one of my units to kind of show you what a client goes through step by step when they check into one of my units. So this will be very helpful for you as well. The whole idea of this channel is that after 6 years, I want to share my insight that I've had hosting and how this can help you also become a super host. So let's go into one of my listings to see how I did my check-in instructions. I'm going to share my screen here. Okay. So here are my listings, and out of all those listings, I own 4 of these properties. The others, I'm a co-host. So let's go in this listing, which is a 2-bedroom unit. As you can see here in arrival guide is where you'll find information, the check-in information. I have check-in time at 3 p.m. My check-in window is from 3 p.m. and end time flexible. You can actually go in here and make your end time whatever works best for you. I like to be flexible because I have a self check-in, which is what I recommend, and that makes it easier for clients, right? So on the left, I have check-in at 3 p.m., check out at 11 a.m. That's pretty standard in all my units. In directions, I write down directions of how to get to the property. I put use Waze or maps and look for property locations under Candelaria. Candelaria is the name of my property. I like to name my property so it's easier for the clients to find. And also I can make this location in maps or Waze so they can use. So check-in method, lockbox. There's different check-in methods. So let's look at what they are. If you're new and you're looking at this for your listing, you can choose whichever check-in method works best for you or what you're going to use. Smart locks, keypad. I use lockbox in this unit. I've used smart locks in other units. They work great. I like them. But in this one, I have a lockbox. Building staff, if you're in a building and somebody needs to give the keys to the clients, then you can select that. Or in-person greeting. Some people like to greet their clients in person and give them the keys. I don't recommend that much because over time it may be more of a hassle, and if the client comes in late, you may have a hard time doing that. All right, so in this unit, I have lockbox. Also here, there's a space to add additional details. So I put lockbox code 3068. All this information will be in my check-in instructions, but this is another space that I use to kind of go over the same information because clients sometimes see things in one place and not in the other. So I take advantage of this. I tell them the keys will be inside lockbox, which is kind of obvious, but I just go ahead and tell them, try to make this easy, right? Then I tell them enter via street door and apartment A will be on the left, and then the garage control will be inside unit A. This is important because in this unit, and you'll see this in the video, they have to first go into lockbox, grab the key, walk through the street door into apartment, and then grab the control to open the garage gate and then enter with a car. You'll see that in the next video. And then I say, please park in space A because I have all the parking spaces also labeled, and every label is in the keys and also in the unit. So I have space A, B, and C. And you'll see that in the video next. All right. And I say thanks. And that's the lockbox details that I have there. So let's go into the check-in instructions. Let's go into the first picture. Now, the clients will see this in a different way. This is kind of how we see it as hosts. So the first picture that I have in my check-in instructions is outside of the property, what it looks like outside of the property. So remember, your clients have never been to your property, so they need to kind of get an idea. So I have a picture of outside, and then I put again, location and Waze, Candelaria, and I put it in Spanish. Even though Airbnb translates everything for you in the language that your client needs, Costa Rica is a Spanish-speaking country. I just want to make sure that there's no way that they can, mess this up. So I put it in Spanish as well. So the second picture I have in my check-in instructions is just a picture of the name of the property. As you can see, Candelaria. I put in their property name, Candelaria. That way, when they arrive, they see the sign, they see the first picture, they know they're in the right spot. In Costa Rica, we don't have like numbers in the properties, so I have to do all these little things just to make it really easy for the client to arrive. Okay. Then my next picture is a picture of the street door with the lockbox, as you can see right here. And then I say lockbox next to street door. People look for where the lockbox is. I want to make it easier so they know it's going to be right next to the street door. I put it in Spanish as well. The next picture I have is the actual lockbox. As you can see, it's the lockbox, and I actually have the numbers of the code in the picture, trying to make it easy for them as well. I've already put it, I think, 3 times in the lockbox details in this step, so they don't have a reason to not know what the lockbox code is. I put it down here again, lockbox code 3068. Keys inside for apartment A. I'd say again, it's going to be apartment A because there's 3 apartments. So everywhere in the instructions, I tell them apartment A, parking spot A. All right. So after they see that picture, the next instruction will be to find the control to open the garage gate. And I can see here, gate control will be on the counter inside the apartment. Okay, so they know that the control will be there. They won't be asking me, Esteban, how do I open the garage door? They can see with a picture where it's going to be at. So what's the next instructions? I have a picture of the gate itself, red gate to enter with your car. And like you said, it's just a regular cell phone picture. It was actually a rainy day in Costa Rica. You can see in the floor. But the clients appreciate that they'll really know which gate to go into. Sometimes different properties have different gates. They'll see exactly which gate to go into. And then again, I say garage opener will be inside the apartment or will be given to you by host. I never really give it to them in person. Initially, I put that there because I probably wanted to make sure that they know they're going to get it, but they always do it by themselves with the self check-in. Works really good. So the next picture is, all right, I show where the parking spot A looks like. So when they arrive, they'll see these 3 spots and they have to park in parking spot A. I tell them parking spot for unit A. Again, everything is A. So it makes it really easy for them not to forget and not mess up, not go into park in a different spot and not try to go into a different apartment, right? And the last picture I have is the correct way to open the door. So I've had some issues with this key because it's kind of like a different key. So I put a picture of it and I say correct way to insert the key with a small hole facing down. As you can see here, I have an arrow trying to make this as simple as possible for them. Try to think about it, every detail that could possibly go wrong and to try to make it easy for them. So if they have a hard time opening the door, they can refer to the picture and help them out. So these are my check-in instructions for this unit, right? And why am I showing you this? Because as you saw, I'm trying to be as detailed as possible so the client has no way to mess the check-in process, right? That's the first time they're going to come in contact with you and your property, and it needs to be very smooth. So let's go back here in the main page. So that is pretty much the check-in instructions. Over here on the left, I also have the Wi-Fi details. Very important. People always want to know where the Wi-Fi is right away. Make sure you have that in there. And there's a space here that says house manual. If you're new and you're setting up your listing for the first time, or you're looking through your listings to see how you can improve things, in the house manual, I put additional details about your property that will help them at the beginning, right? So again, I talk to properly open the glass door, place the key with the hole facing out. I talk about it again in case they didn't see it in the first time or they just forgot about that instruction, so they won't have a hard time getting in. I say all ceiling fans have a switch on the wall and to turn it on and off. The fans have 3 speeds and the middle speed is recommended. The first time they come in, they don't know sometimes how to even turn on the lights properly. The fans in this unit, you need to turn them on with a switch. So I tell them that. I also tell them you'll find a broom and a special cloth that goes over the broom to mop the floors that can be found underneath the sink. When they make a mess or something, they need to know how to clean it up. So a lot of people read these things, or a lot of people are more visual. So using these things will help your client have a smooth check-in process, which is the idea. So Airbnb puts this in your listings so you can take advantage of them. So I definitely recommend you using all these parts in your listing in order for your client to have as much information as possible. So that's pretty much it in terms of check-in instructions. Let me go back here. Okay, so we're back. So that gives you an idea of what my check-in instructions look like. If you're somebody that's already been hosting for a long time and you want to make some comments on this video, please do. That way you can help others see how you do your process. I try to be as detailed as possible. As you can see, use the pictures, use a step-by-step because clients definitely appreciate it. Actually, in this unit, I get comments all the time saying, thank you, check-in instructions were very clear. I get it all the time. And now that I think about it, in my other property by the beach, the bigger house, nobody ever has said that. So maybe I got to go look into those check-in instructions, make sure they're more in detail because people in these units really, really appreciate how specific I am with everything they need to know. And if they write to me, of course, I respond and I'm on top of it. All right. So the whole purpose of these 3 video series that I'm doing is to really, really put importance on the check-in process. It's the first time your client will come in contact with your property and you, and this is the first step in getting a 5-star review. 5-star reviews are very important, especially at the beginning with your property. Definitely work really hard to get those 5-star reviews. And if you nail in the check-in process, believe me, you're pretty much halfway home, right? There's things that I'm going to talk to you about during the process that will help you also improve and get those 5-star reviews. And if you're not a Superhost, don't worry. I will go over those details of how you can become a Superhost and the requirements you need to meet to become a Superhost. And please watch the next video. It's really going to help you visually understand what this check-in instructions and process is done, how I do it, and how this can help you as well. If you're liking this video, please subscribe and help me grow this channel. The whole idea is for me to keep posting videos of the things that I've learned in my 6-year experience as a Superhost and how this can help you also become a Superhost. Support this channel. I'm gonna have a lot of videos that I wanna, make for you. And if you have any comments, please ask me questions. I will answer all the questions. And also, if you want me to make videos about something specific, please let me know. And if you're already hosting for a long time or you're a Superhost, comment as well and see how we can all come up with a good, idea of what the best check-in process is. At the end, we're all in this together, right? And if you're ever in Costa Rica, you want to come check out one of my units, please do. And we can definitely work together in how to make your hosting experience more valuable. Till next time, pura vida.